Hello and welcome to Nowhere. My name is Trish and I am the creator behind Nowhere Novelties. You can't have Valentine's Day without a cynical friend who is anti-Valentine's Day. So today we're going to be creating a dark, no thank you, anti-Valentine tumbler with a black drip. If you're ready, let's strap in and shoot for the stars.
This is a 12-ounce thick Duozie from Maker Flow Crafts. It is basically a can, koozie, and a tumbler. I have it base painted black, and I'm using the epoxy method to apply this Gothic Valentine glitter from Peachy Olive Glitters. It is really like a mix of all kinds of stuff. It's kind of like a purple and black base, but it has a lot of rainbow colors mixed in, as well as some star shapes. Now, this is really super chunky, so after I get all of the glitter applied and I get my excess glitter kind of back in the container, what I do is roll the tumbler super lightly against this parchment paper to kind of press down and make the glitter lay flat. I applied 2 very heavy and thick coats of epoxy over this glitter before I was ready to move on. I did a nice sanding to get any pokey bits. And here's the decal we're going to be applying. This is from Gracefully Created. It is a white backed decal, so it can go on darker cups like this glitter color we have here. I'm just cutting off like the excess around the decal because this whole square was like stickered. So you don't want like a square of clear. You want to be as close to the sticker design as you possibly can to minimize any weird things that might happen under the epoxy. I applied the decal slightly lower on the cup than I normally would so that I had room for the black drip that I was going to apply. So I've gone over my drip method before on the channel. I use Mod Podge and cornstarch to thicken the Mod Podge, and then just acrylic paint to color the mixture. Do note that when you add in the acrylic paint, it's going to look lighter because the Mod Podge and the cornstarch are white, but when it dries down, it's going to be, the color of the acrylic paint that you put in. So you want to test it on like the side of your little Dixie cup to make sure you have a very slow drip. You want your mixture to be thick enough that it doesn't run down super, super low, because then you're going to end up covering up your decal. So I take my nice fat popsicle stick and I get like a dollop on the end of it and drag it just along the top of the tumbler and, scrape the back of it like I just did there. And the gravity of like the thicker parts that you apply, that's where your drip is going to start to kind of drop. Unfortunately, filming like the application of the drip is kind of hard because I can only tilt the cup a certain amount before like the drips will start to like drip wonky. They'll start to like drop down crooked. So I'm sorry if you can't see exactly what I'm doing here. I tried to do it as best I can. You basically want to line your whole rim with the Mod Podge and cornstarch mixture with a few concentrated areas where like the mixture is applied a little heavier so that you get like the long drips as well as like the wavier looking drip as well. Not like the long skinny, but more of like a wave. You can go back in and like add like additional like heavier sections if like you have too much space between your long skinny drips. So you can kind of like finesse this a little bit. And what I'm doing now, I flipped the cup upside down to kind of stop gravity for a second. The drips will stop dropping, obviously, when you do this, and it forms that like ball on the end of the longer, skinnier drips, and I like the way it looks when I do that. I let my drips dry out for 24 hours before I epoxy over them, just to make sure nothing gets weird with like a reaction between the epoxy and the Mod Podge. But I do put 2 coats of epoxy over the drips, and this cup is done. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.